as a nutritionist, I have a master's degree, and I taught home ec for 20 years. And that's when I was first introduced to this because, um, I thought I ate healthy, but I was going through menopause and I didn't realize all the signs and symptoms that I had. I was
Mm-hmm.
depressed. I was not getting the sleep I needed. My body was not responding well to any of the stuff I was doing in terms of, just my energy. And I thought I was
Mm-hmm.
eating healthy. And I met this one of my students' mothers, and she talked to me, and she said, at that point, my daughter was 3 when I started teaching,
Mm-hmm.
and she, I wanted to do the right thing for her, so I got some environmentally friendly products, and
Mm-hmm.
she introduced me to those, the cleaning products, Basic Age, which has been around for 70 plus years.
Wow.
And yeah. And so I switched just all my cleaning products, my laundry, all that stuff. And in 2 weeks, her asthma and her allergies went away. I said,
Oh,
really?
wow.
This is crazy because she was suffering. And I was using
Mm-hmm.
Arm and Hammer or something, like that. But I said, you know
Yeah.
what? I thought that was safe, but this
Mm-hmm.
stuff just made a huge difference. And so I asked her, I said, tell me more about this stuff. And she said, well, first I want to ask you, do you take any vitamins? And I said, no, because have my own garden. I
Mm-hmm.
eat organically. I know how to cook. I'm a home ec teacher, right? Right.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I might be losing, some nutrients. You don't even know that. I said, yeah, yeah. She said, well, just try these vitamins for 30 days. And if you don't feel better, you get your money back. I said, hey, I'll try something for 30 days because I knew I was going to get my
Mm-hmm.
money back, because I was living in scarcity, not abundance, because I didn't have much money. Being a
Ah.
single mom, recently divorced,
Mm-hmm.
working full time, trying to get my, pay the bills and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, okay, it's worthwhile. I'll give it a try. And yeah, it didn't cost that much, but checked in with me a couple of days, actually 2 weeks later. She said, how are you feeling? I said, yeah, I'm feeling a little better. She said, try more of those Bs. Vitamin B is the happy vitamins. And, I was trying to have a social life and I was trying to, teaching
All the things.
teenagers
Oh,
are the
gosh.
worst. You
Yeah.
know what? And I said, okay, I need some happy vitamins. So I did a couple more. And by the end of the month, she came to me. She said, how do you feel? I said, oh my God, is this stuff real? I mean, it feels like a drug. Like I felt so good and so high. And she said,
Yeah.
it's all natural. It's all natural. And I'm looking, I never had to look back. I never asked for my money back. And it was a good thing I
Mm.
didn't because guess what? They decided to close the whole home ec department, and I was ahead
Oh
of it.
my gosh. Oh,
Six, 16 years of teaching, building this whole thing,
uh-huh.
working with these teenagers, 7th through 12th grade. I developed the whole curriculum, all the things. We had consumer ed, personal and family living, child development, clothing and textiles, and food and nutrition. I did all of those
Mm.
programs for all those grades. And
Uh-huh.
they said, we don't need this anymore. And we're
Oh
closing,
my
closing
gosh.
the home. I said, okay, what am I going to do now?
Oh my
And then
goodness.
I turned to my friend Nika and she said, you know what? We're doing so much. You believe in the environment, and we are the top number one company as far as nutrition in the world because we
Mm.
we do all of our clinical science. We do the peer-reviewed journals and reviews, and we are clean, and we make sure we are, and you can trust us. I said, okay, why not? No, I'll
Give it a
give us a try.
whirl, right?
Give it a try. What the heck? So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Let's back up just a
yeah.
little bit here. So when you were first introduced to Shackley, how old were you when you first started?
I actually it was 44 years ago. So I'll just say I'm in my
Okay.
80s now. So
Well, and that's
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. You look
And
amazing. You're very vibrant and
and
just a
I'm
bundle of
very active,
energy.
and part of
Mm-hmm.
the things I ended up playing pickleball, so I did something to my back. which
Oh, Donna.
yeah, L4 and 5, right? Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so those are the things I said. Okay, there are things I recognize I got to slow down on, but I can still do water aerobics. I still do yoga. I still do walking. I just did a half a mile loop before I talked to you, and
Uh-huh.
I love being active. I have a bike, and I love to dance. That's my therapy,
Mm,
and that's
nice.
been my therapy for a long time. So now I have a
Oh,
partner who likes to dance, even though Dave
that's
died. He
sweet.
died 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's tough because he was the
Mm-hmm.
love of my life and gave me unconditional love. But
Mm,
he supported me with the whole Shackley thing. And his
mm-hmm.
background actually was he was a Harvard grad, and he said I can grow anything. He grew sapphire crystals for LEDs and solar at
Oh,
2,000
okay.
degrees centigrade. He
Wow.
actually got a pattern to get the price of solar down and LEDs down because he was able to grow these sapphire crystals at a wider, higher rate with no flex in them. It's just complicated, but he was
It's
very
above my pay grade.
yeah, well, yeah, he was very successful in this, and he had 10 kids. And when
Oh,
I met
wow.
him, I said either this guy is crazy or he's got a big heart. And of course,
Mm.
I found out he has a big heart, and he
Uh-huh.
gave me that unconditional love. And he was
Oh.
concerned when I lost my job because they took it out rug out from underneath me.
Yeah.
He said, "Why don't we just do Shackley and help?" And because here's a company, and he wanted to look at all their peer reviewed journals. By the way, he could
Yes.
study those because he had the background.
From the
Yeah,
scientist
yeah. The
background
scientist
and
point
the
of view,
eyes.
the 100 peer
Mm-hmm.
reviewed journals, they're boring, but he read all of them, and he said, "Yep, they did their homework." I said,
Wow.
"Okay, Dave, do you think they work now?" So he said, "Okay, I'll try some of these things." So he had joint problems, he had a neck problem,
Yeah.
and he started a joint health complex, and he realized after 7 days he could turn his head and it didn't hurt because
Oh
he
my.
had arthritis in the back of his
Mm-hmm.
neck, and the joint health
Mm-hmm.
complex helps with that. So
Oh my
simple,
gosh.
simple things like that. Omega threes. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's for inflammation. They've come up with a lot of very unique things. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
now they're doing the 5 day reset, which is a package of all of the it actually it's a pre-package. It's got oatmeal and it's got drinks and it's got all these little
Oh,
teas and everything, snack bars and everything else in it. So it's ready to go. I actually have a sample back here, but I won't get it now, but I can
that's
show you
okay.
later.
We can talk about
But
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so I think what Shackley has done. They're trying to make it easier for people to get healthy and
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they go beyond organic. But this what I like about Shackley is that they've been around for 70 years. And Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Shackley was a chiropractor, and he invented the first uh, vitalized minerals, they called it way back then in
Okay.
1915, 100 years ago, over that. So,
1915.
so he was way ahead of his time because he was trying to heal himself because he had, um, it was either leukemia or something. He had some dreadly disease and he was trying to heal
Mm-hmm.
himself. So he went out and lived in the country and, growing his own food and all that stuff. But I think he had the right philosophy is, see the people and help the people and do what you can to make a difference. And that's
Mm-hmm.
basically I feel like I want to make a difference and I want to help
Mm.
others. And that's kind of what my
Mm-hmm.
philosophy is. Whatever I do right now. And I want to leave a legacy because I'm at that age.
Mm.
I'm thinking, okay, how many years do I have left? But in the meantime, I want to, help other people to help themselves. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can do in this business with helping other people. And, they can make an income at the same time, which is nice.